Welcome to Worth Reviewing, and this is the Vauxhall Corsa. Hang on a second, there's something missing. That's right, because this car is what a lot of learner drivers here in the UK use to pass their test, or try to pass their test in. Now, I've got to pee because I've passed my test. Speaking of pee, I could do for going for a poo. This is the 1.4 naturally aspirated petrol engine, which produces 90 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 12.8 seconds, and will achieve around 40 miles per gallon. But the one you actually want is the 1.4 turbo, simply as it has more brake horsepower and it's still economical. This engine though can seem a little underpowered, but if you live in the city or drive around town quite a lot, that shouldn't really be a problem, as there's enough power to do so. With driving this thing around corners, the steering can feel a little vague if I'm honest. It didn't seem quite there against its rivals. Although I haven't learnt to drive in this car, this is a good car to start learning in, simply as it's practical, it's small-ish, and it's cheap to run. But not only that, it's got 4 out of 5 stars on Euro NCAP, so it's safe too. The interior is relatively smart looking and suits the rest of the car well. The materials aren't high quality, but this is a small mini hatch, not a roller. All Corsas come with city driving, so it's easier to turn the wheel if you need to do a quick U-ey and as you've cocked up. So first of all, I'm going to show you, without city driving turned on, my pinky moving the steering wheel. As you can tell, it's struggling a bit. Now with it turned on, look at my pinky go. You don't even need hands with this car. Moving on to the infotainment system, this is the upgraded version and doesn't come with sat-nav, but that's okay because Vauxhall has allowed us to pair our phone's connectivity to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, so we're all sweet to go. Let's have a look at the bad bits. As for the fuel gauge, there's no way of me seeing how many miles left I've got in the tank. Only on top of spec models you can see that. So all I've got is white blocks telling me how many miles I've got left in the tank. What's wrong with a proper gauge? As for the lower spec models, in the back you can't get split rear seats, higher spec models only. Then as we want to put the seats down, the seat belts then get jammed in the seatbelt locators. Come on Vauxhall, really? The luggage holders are seriously stiff, so if you're doing that buying a Corsa, you'll need to buy one of these as well, a lever bar. Then you'll need one of these to put it back down again. There are a few trim levels to choose from, so many I've had to write them down on a piece of paper because there's no way I'll be able to remember them all. From the top, we've got the Life, the Sting R, the Active, the Griffin, the Design, which is this one, the Energy, the Excite, the White Edition, the Red Edition, the Limited Edition, the Black Edition, the SE Sport, the SE Nav, the SE Premium, the SE Nav Premium, the SRI, the SRI Nav, the SRI Premium, the SRI VX Line, the SRI VX Line Nav Black, the Elite Nav Premium, the Ultimate Nav, the GSI and the VXR. I'm just going to pick one at random. I'm going to close my eyes. Blast. I've got the Limited Edition.
Hiya, can I check your order please?
Hi there, can I have 20 chicken nuggets please? Thank you ever so much. So I decided to park up and do what Corsa drivers do at night time. No. 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 Oh yeah. You may have already noticed, but I've decided to mod my Corsa slightly. First of all, I've chucked a sub in the boot. As you can tell, I've got my fluffy dice up. I've then put a cone air filter on the intake. But most importantly, I've got rid of the 1.4 and chucked in a V8. Why? Because Corsa. So this Corsa, this monster, now produces 650 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in no time at all, and the top speed is fast. That's what it is, fast. Power! So what's happened is I've eaten my nuggets, my guns are now that massive, I ripped the steering wheel so hard I've had a bit of an incident, as you can see. So I'm now waiting for this kind recovery man to give me a hand, get back on the road so I can carry on reviewing this monster. The following morning I was back on the road, took my stickers off and got back to reality. So is it worth reviewing? Yes. And should you buy one? Yes. But comparing this car to its biggest rival, the Ford Fiesta, which I reviewed a while back, it doesn't seem as refined or as nice to drive. The Corsa starts at £11,700 and the Fiesta just shy of £16,000. That's over £4,000 difference. Saying that, the new Corsa has just been released and starts at just under £15,500, and it doesn't look too shabby either. But back to this Corsa, I can honestly say it's not a bad little car. Like I've said, look at the 1.4 turbo, which should give you that extra bit of boost and power when you may need it. And don't yank it too hard when you're coming up to a corner like I did. Apart from that, you shouldn't have any problems at all.